Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're looking into the global ischemia reperfusion injury market. What's the outlook there?
Yeah, it's a fascinating area.
And our main source for this is the detailed research from Cognitive Market Research.
That's right. They've done some comprehensive work.
So our goal today really is to pull out the key takeaways for you. We want to look at how this market is growing, what's driving it, and, how the different parts of the world are contributing.
There are some pretty interesting figures in there.
Definitely. And it matters because this is about some pretty critical medical innovations, stuff that helps you stay informed quickly.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's kick off with the global view, the big numbers.
Let's do it.
In 2021, this market generated almost $1.9 billion. So $1,867.88 million to be precise.
A significant starting point.
And it's not stopping there. Projections show it climbing to over $2.3 billion. That's $2,362.7 million by 2025. And then, get this, expected to hit nearly $3.8 billion. $3,780.3 million by 2033.
Wow, that's quite a jump.
It really is. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of just over 6%, 6.051% across that whole forecast period.
And that 6% CAGR, it tells a story, doesn't it? It's not just a number.
Exactly. Consistent, strong demand, serious expansion happening.
And the why behind it, which, the research highlights, is really crucial. It comes down to expanding clinical awareness.
Okay.
And also the demand for, innovative therapies, things that specifically tackle these ischemia reperfusion conditions.
Right.
Maybe we should quickly clarify what that injury actually is for anyone maybe not familiar.
Good idea.
So ischemia reperfusion injury, it's basically the damage that can happen after blood flow is restored to an organ that was previously deprived of.
Right, like in a heart attack or stroke scenario.
Precisely. The initial lack of oxygen causes damage, ischemia, but then the return of blood flow, the reperfusion, can paradoxically cause a second wave of injury. Inflammation, oxidative stress, that kind of thing.
Okay. So this market is about therapies to minimize that secondary damage.
Exactly. It's about protecting the tissue during that vulnerable reperfusion phase.
That makes a lot more sense. It's not just managing the blockage, but the aftermath, too.
Correct.
And when you say innovative therapies, what are we talking about? New drugs? Devices?
It's really a mix. We're seeing advances in things like anti-inflammatory agents, new drug formulations designed to be protective. Even cell therapies are being explored.
Interesting.
These advancements are really aiming to shift things, moving beyond just damage control to actively mitigating that reperfusion injury.
So for the listener, this translates to potentially better outcomes.
Yeah, potentially faster recovery, less long-term damage to organs after things like, say, heart surgery, organ transplants, or stroke treatments, a better quality of life, hopefully.
That really grounds the numbers in reality. Okay, so let's break down where this growth is happening, starting with the current leaders.
North America.
Right. North America had a really dominant position in 2021. Over $842 million in revenue. That's $842.415 million.
Yeah, a major chunk of the market.
And set to grow significantly. It's projected to cross the $1 billion mark by 2025, $1,050.22 million, and then climb further to over $1.6 billion by 2033. That's $1,633.09 million, with a CAGR around 5.7%, 5.674%, actually.
Still very strong growth for a mature market.
And within North America, the U.S. is the powerhouse, right?
Wow.
$694 million in 2021, heading towards $1.3 million by 2033.
That's right, $1,328.1 million
Yeah.
with a 5.5556% CAGR.
But projected to hit almost $188 million by 2033. That's a higher growth rate, over 6.4%.
6.407%. That's notable. Shows strong adoption there, too.
And Mexico contributing steadily as well, nearly 5.9% growth, $59 million, up to $117 million roughly.
So North America's leadership, it really points to its strong R&D infrastructure, right? And the ability to adopt new therapies quickly.
Yeah, that seems right.
That dominance isn't just about the money now. It suggests a mature system that can, develop and integrate these specialized treatments efficiently. Probably a strong pipeline for future innovations, too.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hop across the Atlantic. Europe.
Europe's next.
Generated over $440 million in 2021. So $442.688 million.
Okay.
Projected to increase to over $548 million by 2025,
Mm-hmm.
and then reach about $850 million by 2033. That's $850.568 million, with a TGR slightly lower than North America, around 5.6%, 5.646%.
Still solid, consistent growth.
Yeah, but there are some interesting differences within Europe. Germany, for instance, stands out.
How so?
It shows one of the highest growth rates in the region, over 6.3% CAGR. Starting at $86 million, it's projected to hit almost $180 million by 2033.
That's quite strong for Europe, 6.356%.
Yeah. Contrast that with, say, Russia. Much slower growth projected, just over 4.2%.
Yeah.
$25 million up to about $41.5 million.
Right, 4.247%.
A noticeable difference.
And then you have the UK, France, Italy, Spain, all showing steady, solid growth rates between roughly 5% and 6%. So the UK around 5.9%, France 5.1%,
Right.
Italy 5.3%, Spain almost 6%.
Exactly. And Sweden, Denmark, Switzerland, even Luxembourg, all adding to that overall European picture, with key GRs mostly in the 4-6% range.
Generally healthy market across the continent, then with some variations.
Definitely. But here's where it gets really interesting, as the report suggests.
You mean Asia Pacific?
Exactly, Asia Pacific. This seems to be where the acceleration is really happening.
Yeah, the numbers there are quite striking.
Okay, so Asia Pacific generated over $353 million in 2021. $353.03 million.
Right.
Rising to almost $467 million by 2025.
Okay.
But by 2033, it's projected to nearly double, reaching over $816 million. $816.546 million.
Wow.
And look at the CAGR, over 7.2%. That's 7.245%, the strongest regional growth rate globally.
And a significant, a real growth engine.
And dig into the country details. India shows remarkable growth, the highest regional TGR, over 8.3%.
8.31%, that's huge.
Yeah, starting from $39 million, projected to hit over $102 million, more than doubling.
Impressive.
Now, India has the highest rate, but China leads in actual revenue size within the region.
Makes sense, given the scale.
China was at $116.5 million in 2021, expected to reach almost $275 million by 2033. Still a very strong FAGR of about 7.4%.
7.425%,
Yeah.
beating the region in value.
And we also see really impressive growth in places like Singapore, over 7.5% CGR. And Southeast Asia as a whole, almost 7.9% CGR.
Very dynamic growth across the board there.
Definitely. Japan, South Korea, Australia, Taiwan, they're all contributing significantly too,
Yeah.
with KGRs mostly in the 6-7% range.
Japan 6.4%, South Korea 6.7%, Australia 6%, Taiwan almost 6.9%. Yeah.
So what's driving this surge in Asia Pacific?
Well, what's fascinating here is that dynamic shift we're seeing. You connect it back, like we said earlier, to clinical awareness and demand.
Right.
That high growth rate in Asia Pacific signals a major expansion of both. It's happening in these incredibly populous regions.
So improving healthcare, more investment.
Exactly. It's just improving healthcare infrastructure, probably rising incomes, allowing for more advanced care, and just a huge growing patient base needing these therapies. It's a really key trend for global healthcare in the next decade.
Absolutely. A major shift to watch. Okay, just to round things out, let's quickly cover the other regions for a complete picture.
Good idea.
South America, valued around $90 million in 2021, $89.658 million, estimated to reach almost $190 million by 2033. That's a healthy 6.4% CAGR.
6.432%. Quite strong.
And within South America, Argentina actually shows a slightly higher rate, almost 7%.
Interesting. 6.98%.
Then, the Middle East accounted for nearly $75 million in 2021, $74.715 million, projected to hit over $155 million by 2033, a CAGR of about 6.3%.
And finally, Africa. Recorded over $65 million in 2021.
Okay.
$6.9476 million. Expected to reach almost $135 million by 2033. The CGR there is around 5.6%.
5.634%. Still growing steadily. So wrapping it all up, what does this mean for you, the listener, trying to get a quick grasp on these complex market dynamics?
Well, the big takeaway from the cognitive market research data is pretty clear.
Yeah.
This ischemia reperfusion injury market is seeing strong, consistent growth pretty much everywhere.
Right. Across all regions.
North America is holding on to its dominance in terms of, the sheer size of the revenue.
For now.
For now. But Asia Pacific is absolutely leading the charge when it comes to the rate of growth. That acceleration is key.
So that overall global expansion, it really reflects that these conditions are being recognized as more clinically significant.
Exactly. And that the therapeutic interventions, the treatments we talked about, are continuously advancing.
It's a clear sign of progress in critical care globally.
Definitely.
Wow. What an incredible journey through this market. We've seen the global scale, North America's strong revenue base, but that really explosive growth potential in Asia Pacific.
It paints a vivid picture.
Yeah, and these insights, they're really valuable if you want to understand how medical therapies are evolving worldwide and how innovation really does impact patient care everywhere.
Absolutely. And looking at all this data, this deep dive, it kind of raises a bigger question, doesn't it?
Oh, what's that?
Well, as this clinical awareness keeps growing and the therapeutic innovation continues driving the market, especially in those rapidly expanding regions like Asia Pacific,
Yeah.
what implications might these medical advancements have for global public health strategies and for patient outcomes over the next decade? How might this shift global priorities in medical research and investment?
That's a really profound thought. As these advanced therapies become more accessible globally, how does that change the landscape of public health and R&D focus?
Something to think about.
Indeed. Something for all of you to mull over. And perhaps think about what other deep dives you might want to explore next time.
Always more to uncover.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.